heavy infusion of cash cementing Buzzfeed's status as the cat's meow, the viral content hub known for its very thorough coverage of the feline beat, getting a $50 million investment from Andreessen Horowitz, raising its valuation to a reported $850 million. Buzzfeed co-founder Jonah Peretti poking some fun at Marc Andreessen, tweeting, quote, "We did it for the tweet storm, not the money," to which Andreessen promptly responded, quote, "So can we have the money back?" Here now is our very own Jolene Kent. Jack Howe is back with us, along with Larry Fishelson, who is the COO of Dynalink Communications. Thanks to all three of you for joining us. Larry, let me start with you. Does that valuation seem fair to you? $850 million? What do you think? Who knows?
Well, who knows? Because it's a private company, so we don't know, exactly what the numbers are. But content is king, and we're seeing the truth this year with content distribution, everything going to all the devices.
Yeah.
So it is big. The question is, I see they're looking to make their own content, which is going to be very interesting. And this one looks like it could be part of the bubble that we're heading into content. It's the right content, but this could be bubble stuff.
Interesting, because I mean, Buzzfeed, it's very catchy. We all look at it like it is a standout. They say their specialty though is technology. What they understand better than anyone else is how to deliver, and that's what makes them. You believe that?
It's very rapid. It's very interactive. They do it better in terms of, from a visual standpoint, than some other sites. But in terms of going back to that original content, they actually do a lot of original reporting in the retail, investigative sectors, and a bunch of other different places. So we can expect to see some pretty decent video offerings from Buzzfeed.
I looked this morning at Buzzfeed, and the top story was about the chaos in Iraq, and then just below that was a story about a new trend where men are shaving their chests but leaving a part that looks like a hairy bikini top. So this is a non-traditional mix of stories, to say the least.
Which story were you more drawn to? Be honest. Where did you go first? What were you really looking at? Did you delve into Iraq, or were you checking out the bikini chest hair thing?
I've got another couple decades to make it in this news business, so if it takes the hairy bikini top story to keep the news business flowing, then I guess that's what...
What's interesting about Buzzfeed is, when the Malaysian Airlines flight went down, they instantly had everyone's video feeding on there. I mean, stuff that you didn't want to see, but you probably wouldn't see anywhere else, and they seemed like they were very far ahead of everyone else. And they're putting up content, we're traditional media, we're worried about what we put up. Is it going to offend people? Are people watching with kids? They're sort of buyer beware coming along.
Well, let's face it, so we talk about content, but what content turns into is advertising, and advertising is the dollars behind it. So can this go mainstream content into mainstream advertising? And that's what I question when I say this could be part of the content bubble compared to more mainstream content.
Facebook's decision to split off its messenger service has users reaching for the star. Despite being the top free download in the App Store, it's been branded with a dismal one-star rating. Joe, people are, they're downloading it, but they're also really harshing on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of privacy issues that people are very aware of here, and they're looking at it and saying, why is something that's already inside one app being forced out? And a lot of people I've talked to, both personally and analysts, think that this is not necessarily the best move because it isn't separate from the actual Facebook app itself. It is one of the core functions. So Facebook is famously trying to really separate out its apps and make itself more diverse, but this may not necessarily be the right move right away.
Something else? Are they really going to use this?
Snapchat, Instagram, all kinds of different things. But Facebook Messenger really is pretty central, or the messaging service on Facebook is central to communication for a lot of people, actually. It's not just teenagers.
What do you think? You use it?
I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Yo. I only do Yo.
That's right. You just Yo people. I love that. Amazon tugging on Captain America's cape with its latest negotiating tactic, halting pre-orders of some Disney DVDs as a result of an apparent contract dispute. What do you think of this one, Jack?
Well, we've seen the struggles between Amazon and book publishers. Now, people don't read, so that's not such a big deal. But Disney DVDs are a different story. I think Amazon might be biting off more than it can chew here. There's not a substitute for that frozen DVD.
But who really buys the DVD any longer? We always buy it on iTunes and stream it, and really?
I think definitely diminishing number of people who do that, but there is probably a large swath of the population that does not subscribe to Netflix, that doesn't do Hulu and all of these different Amazon Prime.
But this is all about price, because this sets a precedent once again with the content of the price and how much they're going to pay for the content, and as we've seen it before, and then that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to squeeze them on the price.
All right. Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer lashing out at Fitbit, penning an all-caps rant claiming, quote, "Without their knowledge, Fitbit bracelets and smartphone apps are tracking users' movements and health data that could be sold to third parties." Without their knowledge, that's the whole reason you put a Fitbit on, is so that it will track your movements and your health. I don't know. Did he miss like what the product was about?
Well, it's all about those third-party sales, right? And Fitbit has come back and said, and again, they're a private company, so we don't necessarily know, but they said they're actually not selling to third-party advertisers. But what I'm really interested in is why was it in all caps, and why did he care so much?
And
I think he's just trying to sound cool and show people that he knows what Fitbit is.
It wouldn't be the first time.
That was a miss.
I don't know. It was definitely a miss. I mean, it does make me nervous. I mean, I don't have one, and I don't love the idea of them selling that information. I don't necessarily believe them when they say they're not going to. It may be one of those statements that at the time they're saying it, they're not going to do it, and then 10 minutes later they change their mind. But at the same time, it really does seem like he didn't understand what the actual device was for. Does he look like a Fitbit user to you? I haven't really seen
he use one? I've never seen one. I've looked for him wearing it.
You just got to know when you use anything like that out there. I mean, it's public. If you're using it's public info.
It's out there. All right, thanks, guys.